Hari Om. Bhagavad Gita Chapter 6 Verse 22. Dhyana Yoga Meditation. In the last verse, Bhagwan Krishna said, the absolute happiness can be recognized only by the intellect. It is not available for sense perceptions. You can't see it with eyes or hear it with your ears, because they are all temporary. Whatever you perceive through the sense organs, they are all temporary happiness. This can be recognized only by the intellect. That is what Bhagwan said in the previous verse, that is verse 21. Once you reach that absolute happiness, then you cannot move away from that absolute happiness. Because man, every being in this world, it is in search of happiness. Once you reach the peak, then there is nothing more to gain. That is what Bhagwan is saying in verse 22. Verse 22. Yam laptva cha param labam manyate nadigam tataham yasmin tito na dukkena gurunapi vichalyate. Bhagavan here is saying, once you reach the highest, the peak, the absolute happiness, having gained that state, yam laptva cha aparam labam manyate na atigam tataha. So that person, once he merged with his self, he realizes there is nothing more that is required for him to make him happy. Because self is absolute happiness. Once you reach that level, you merge with the self by yourself, then he knows there is nothing more than this which can give him happiness, any happiness. He has reached the absolute stage. Then Bhagavan says, Yasmin stito na dukkena gurunapi vichalyate. Having established in that state, Bhagavan says, Yasmin stito, having reached that state, then even the greatest sorrow of his life, Guruna api dukkena, greatest sorrow of his life, na vichalyate, because it will not disturb him, his happiness, his peace of mind. Bhagavan says this. In this verse, Bhagavan says, once he has reached, merged with the self, then he will not look for any other happiness. He has reached the highest state of happiness. And in the second line, Bhagavan says, even the greatest sorrows of his life cannot touch him or disturb his peace of mind. This is what Bhagwan Krishna says. But a below average intellect like me, so then the question is, how the sorrows of life cannot touch a person, whoever it is. Every day, once I wake up, sorrow is there. Something, one or the other thing is there to bring me unhappiness. It can be anything. So I think, I was looking at this. Bhagavan says, Krishna says, Yasmin stito na dukkena gurunapi vichalyate. Dukkena gurunapi. Greatest sorrow, it will not touch him. So to reach that level, it will take a long time, because that person must be a matured person who sits in meditation, merges with the self. What about us? What about personally to me? How can this dukkha can be overcome? Then for a day or two, I was thinking on this. Bhagwan Krishna, in fact, it looks as if he has given the path, how to mature. So there are many ways to mature. Already we have seen in verse 21 that the person has mastered his mind by the practice of yoga. He is a matured person now. He knows the life and its challenges. Life means challenge. Life, the shortest definition for life is simple challenge. So, he must have been in our position and suffered all the pains and pangs of life. That person, the matured person, reaches absolute happiness. So, he must have, like us, he must have also suffered all the sufferings of this life, sorrows of this life. Then what are the methods he would have adopted to mature himself? So I was looking at it. A person, different ways are there. One by one, I will tell you what are the ways he must have adopted to mature himself. So that is what we are seeing now. So that dukkena gurunapi na vichalyate. Even the greatest sorrow will not touch us. So what are the methods? First method. A person like me was having many sorrows in his life. Every day there is a sorrow. One or the other thing comes which gives me unhappiness. So he went to a saint. Hare Swamiji, my life is shattered. Always suffering. How to overcome this? Then that saint, that Swamiji said, okay, give your jatak, whatever it is, horoscope. So he saw that and said, I am sorry to say, now Shani Bhagwan is occupying your house. Only 1 year is over. Balance 6.5 years. It is there. You will tremendously suffer. No escape. Shani Bhagwan is there, except Ganesha and Hanumanji. Shani Bhagwan can touch anybody. So he has occupied your house. You will suffer like anything. So that saint said. So I thought, I asked that saint, okay, 6.5 years. Then after 6.5 years, what will happen? I will be happy. You tell me, go beyond the 6.5 years. The saint said, not to worry, absolutely not to worry. After 6.5 years, you will get used to these sufferings, and then even the biggest suffering, if it comes, it will not affect you because you are used to it. That is the way you have to live. So this is one type of method. And second, this person will understand. Second type, how you are maturing, how this person would have matured. This person will understand Sukha and Dukkha are the obverse and reverse of the same coin. The same thing which gives you happiness will give you unhappiness. So, once you accept Sukha, you must be ready to accept this Dukkha also. That is, the person will understand Sukha and Dukkha are not different. They are one and the same. Same coin. If you accept one, you should accept the other. So mature yourself. Third, we always do this. Third method. Suppose when a tragedy strikes somebody else, your neighbor, next door fellow, then you go to him and say, don't worry, these are all part of life. This too will pass away. This is the famous sentence everybody is using every day. Only thing is, this tragedy should strike the next door fellow, not you. The moment it strikes you, immediately he will be looking like as if the entire sky has fallen on his head. But you apply this to your life also. This too will pass away. This is the third method. Fourth, when Bhagwan Krishna asked Kunti Mata to ask for a boon, he was so happy. So he used to give boons to everybody. So he asked Kunti Mata, I am happy with you. You ask for a boon. She prayed for more sorrows. She said, only sorrows of this life brings Bhagwan Krishna more closer to me. That is you. You are becoming more closer to me because I go to temple, I pray, I read Bhagavad, I read Bhagavad Gita, I read all the slogas, etc. I am chanting Krishna Krishna, etc. Because only when the sorrow comes. If I am happy, I will switch on the TV and watch cricket or do something else. That is why she prayed for more sorrows. So this is another method. Fifth method. People who play adventure sports look for something more challenging. Always. Their adrenaline, that pressure should be there. Otherwise, they don't like that game or something. If you ask them to walk on a road, they will not even go for a walk. Adventure, they should be climbing a rock, or skiing or doing something on the sea, etc. Something like that should be there. Otherwise, they won't enjoy. A person, a meditative person, he knows life is an adventure. Can you say what will happen to you next minute, next second? You just take this example. 5,000 people were celebrating in Israel. They were just dancing, enjoying everything. 1 second, life has changed for all the 5,000 families. Suddenly some terrorists entered and they just shot them down, killed so many people and abducted so many people. Nobody knows what will happen next minute. Nobody knows. Life is an adventure. As long as you are in an adventure sports, you must be ready to accept the challenges. Sorrows are the challenges of life. So you must be ready to accept it. This is one method. Then sixth method, what I feel is, he will think that Bhagwan Krishna, by giving sorrows of life, prepares him for the next step. Only difficulties can make the person stronger, not happiness. Only when you face challenges, you take any person who is successful in his life, even a saint, he would have faced hundreds of challenges before coming to that matured state. So when Bhagavan throws a challenge at you, then you must remember, now this challenge has been given to me to mature myself, to go to the next step. This is one. Another seventh method. When sorrow strikes, this person will think, I must have done something wrong in my previous janma. Bhagavan is giving me an opportunity to get rid of that papa karma. I must have done something in my life. Somebody cheats you. Why somebody is cheating you and not me? Or cheating me and not you? Why he is rich, why I am not rich? Why he is buying why even in spite of being a dishonest person, he is enjoying his life. I am being honest, I am suffering my life. This kind of thinking will come. Why? It is because of your previous janma. You must have done something wrong and you are getting punished for it. If you are escaping this janma, then this punishment will be carried on for your next janma. So Bhagavan is exhausting your vasanas, a karmic person. So, like Bhishma Pitamaha. Bhishma Pitamaha, when he was hit by Arjuna's arrows, he was thinking, no, I have done something wrong in my previous janma. So, I am suffering for this. In the form of Sigandi, she is coming and attacking me. I will not attack her. That is what Bhishma Pitamaha thought. So, suffering, karma is going out, reducing the karmas, papa karmas. Next method, eighth method. When sorrows come, he will read Ramayana or hear Mahabharata, Nalacharita, etc. When people like Rama, Yudhishthir and Nala suffered so much, the sorrow which I am suffering is nothing. Rama, next day he has to be coronated as king. He was dismissed and he was sent to forest. The king, Sita Mata, she is the goddess for Lakshmi, money. She suffered without a pie. Only one saree she had. If you have two sarees, you must be tremendously happy. Why? She suffered a lot. She was a queen. So if you read that, naturally your suffering, sorrows, etc., you will feel like it is nothing. What is this? It's all part of life. You will feel like that. So that is one way of getting over the sorrows. Then the ninth method. His sorrow is nothing when compared to other sorrow. You go out on the road, a person who is walking without a shoe, when you see a person without a leg, your sorrow will vanish. Similarly, for everything, if you are thinking you have a greatest sorrow, just walk on the road, see the people, then you will understand the sorrows of others are much more greater than your sorrows. Your sorrow will be nothing compared to their sorrows. It is a reality of life. So this is where also somebody would have matured. Then 10th, this is very important. Thiruvalluvar says in his Thirukural, Idukkan Varungal Naguga Adanai Adutturva Taktoppadi. He gives a wonderful saying. By saying what he says in this Tirukural is, when sorrows of life comes, you must face that with a smiling face, with an undisturbed mind. Your peace of mind should not be disturbed even a bit. You must laugh at it. He says, you saw the sorrow and laugh at it. If you do this way, you can defeat that sorrow. That is what he says. Nothing is, he says, whatever biggest sorrow comes, you just laugh at it, he says. This is what Tiruvallur says. This is one method. Of course, it requires also a matured mind. Then, the 11th method. In higher level of meditation, the person will realize that life is nothing but a dream. Whatever we are leading, this life we are thinking it is a reality. But it is a dream world. Only a matured person can understand. Slowly, when you go up in meditation, you will understand this world itself is a magic. It is not a real world. It is a magic. Adi Shankara says, we are afraid of life like the person who thinks the rope to be a snake. The moment you realize that it is a rope, snake automatically disappears along with the fear. So you see a rope, you think it is a snake in the night. Next day morning, if you realize that it is not a snake but it is a rope, the snake also disappears, along with it the fear. Similarly, in higher levels of meditation, that person will know that this is a magic world. A magic will remain a magic till the time it remains a magic. The moment you realize or you appreciate the magician and his tricks, then the magic will no more it will interest you. Whatever he is doing, you will look at it and laugh at it. Oh, this I know. This is the way you will look at it. Then the 12th method is, this person is a karma yogi. Karma yogi we have already seen. Elaborately we have seen. Karma yogi, what is his attitude? Whatever he has to do, he will do. Whatever the result comes, he will think or he will take it as prasada of Bhagwan Krishna, gift of God. The suffering comes, he will think it is a gift of God. Who am I? Whatever God gives, master gives, servant accepts. Finish. This time Diwali bonus he has not given me. That's okay for me. It's fine because master has decided. So it is for my good. He will say I am happy. That is the way he will take it out. Then 13th method in meditation. What happens in the higher levels of meditation? We have already seen. In higher levels of meditation, the lower self merges with the higher self. Jivatma merges with Paramatma. In other words, he merges with Bhagwan Krishna himself. Higher self is Bhagwan Krishna. He merges with Bhagwan Krishna. Once he gets immersed in the thought of Bhagwan Krishna, even the word sorrow he will not know. Because he has merged already with Bhagwan Krishna. Take the case of Prahlada. What irritated Hiranyakashipu more was Prahlada smilingly accepting all the challenges, all the sorrows of life. So the Hiranyakashipu will say, throw him from the suicide point. They will go and throw this Prahlada from suicide point. Happily, smilingly, he will come and say, what is my next punishment? So, okay, you ask the elephant to walk on his head. So next, after that, he will come and smilingly say, okay, that I have anything else, he will say. Smilingly, without even a slightest trace of fear or happiness gone. Nothing is there on Prahlada's face. This must have irritated Hiranyakashipu to the maximum extent. That is why Tiruvallur said, Idukkan varungal naguga. He smiled. Always smiled. It is not only Prahlada. There are many saints. Many saints were there. Appar was there. Appar was a Buddhist. He was initially he was following Buddhism. Samana, they say Samana, I think it is Buddhism. And then what happened? He changed himself to Shaiva. That is, he became a devotee of Lord Shiva. The king was a follower of Buddhism. So he got terribly irritated with the Appar. And then what he said was, Appar is the name of the saint. It is not Upper, it is Apar, Appar. So he was the name of the saint. It was the name of the saint. And then he said, he put him into a fire. Let us assume that it is like an electric crematorium. We call it in Tamil as Sunnambu Kalvai. So it is like equal to electric crematorium where 1000 degrees Celsius will be kept. So he was put into that oven, that electric crematorium. Appar was singing a beautiful song. Masil Veenayum, Malai Madiyamum, Visu Tendralum, Vingila Venilum, Musu Vandarai, Poigayum Pondrade, Isan Yendai, Inayadi Nirale. That is what he said was Masil Veenayum. Like the music of the Veena, the instrument Veena. Veena's music is naturally even a fellow like me who is not interested in music, automatically he will get involved. Like that, one he says. Malai Madiyamu, the full moon in the evening, around 7 o'clock, if you see the full moon, bright moon, how much happiness it gives. Malai Madiyamu, Visu Tendralum. There is a wind which is called tendral, mild wind. When in summers, like a AC, when in the peak summer if you put AC, what the air, it will cool you so much. Visu Tendralum, Vingila Venilum, Musu Vandare Poigayum Pondrade. If you sit near the pond, during those days people used to sit near the pond where there will be lotus flowers, etc., where the bees, honey bees will be roaming around. Mild air, it will touch your body, and if you see the new moon, how much happiness it will give. He says, that much happiness I am driving inside this electric crematorium. Then only this king got surprised and he fell at his feet, and he himself converted himself from Buddhism to Shaivism. What I am trying to say is, it is not only Prahalada. Highest level, at that level, there were many saints. Even Sadashiva Brahmendral was there. His hands and legs were cut by the Nawab. He was going on singing. He has reached that highest level. Even though his hands and legs were cut and he was bleeding profusely, he was going on singing, and he was just in a smiling face. So this surprised the Nawab king. So many saints were there. So if you reach that level, sorrows cannot come near you. That is what Bhagwan Krishna is saying. So you merge with Bhagwan Krishna at that level. Think about the sorrows of your life. What you have undergone 10 years back or 5 years back. I am 100% sure each one of us will laugh at it. We will laugh at it. Oh, I cried for balloon in my young age. I cried like anything on the mid of the road. Now I laugh at it. So that was a sorrow, greatest sorrow for me at that time. Now what happened? 10 years down the line, I am able to laugh at it. Similarly, everything. What a person should learn is, he must try to laugh at that instant when the sorrow strikes. That is what the important. It is not you laugh at it after 10, down the line 10 years. After that you laugh at it. Now itself, at that time itself, people should learn to laugh. Bhagwan Krishna is talking about a person who has undergone the sufferings of his life. He is a matured person, controlled his mind. That person, can there be a doubt when that person, when he merges with this self, how any sorrow, whether smallest or greatest, can affect that person? He is like a person, scientist who is entering into his lab. The moment he enters his lab, he forgets the entire world. He merges with him. He is reaching the absolute happiness. So hence Bhagwan Krishna says, Guruna vidukkena na vichalyate. Again, verse 22. Yam laptva chaparam labam manyate nadigam tataham yasmin stito na dukkena Guruna pi vichalyate. Next verse we will see tomorrow Hari Om, Sarvam Krishnarpnamastu. Narayana, 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 Narayana.